have been sharing how to take your martial arts school to the next level. Welcome to another edition of SchoolOwnerTalk.com. Now here's your hosts, Dwayne and Allie.
All right. Hey, you know, Allie, I've been listening to some of our other podcasts, and I do the same introduction every single time. And so I didn't even know what to do, but I did not want to do the same thing and be repetitive. So nice to be with you, Allie, and I'm excited with our guest today, too. So take it away.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, that's kind of like the whole entire thing, right? A podcast has the same intro, and it's kind of like they start the TV show off the same way. So that's okay. That's great. But it is awesome to be here. And we have a special guest today. Can you introduce him and you do that part? And
yeah, sure. So we got Lance Trippett. Lance is the, should I say co-owner?
Oh, yeah, whatever. Co-owner. It all
founder, co-founder. Of Academy Kings, and we've had you on before, and I'm just I know this isn't what we're talking about today, but our last conversation with regards to weekly payments and switching that over, but by the end of summer, all my new students are going to be doing weekly payments.
Oh, great. Awesome.
I'm super excited about that, but there was some back end work that I needed to do before we did that. And I've been talking to people about the weekly as opposed to, 2 times a month or even the monthly payment. So I'm super excited about that. So thank you for that idea.
Yeah. And even just kind of a quick tidbit, even like your current students, just say they're paying $100 a month. You just say, like, when they come up for renewal, or if they come in for changing their credit card, it's just, hey, like we changed to this billing model. Do you mind if I do that? We'll split you up to $25 a week. And they say, cool, no problem. So even the current students, it's a really easy way to flip them that way as well.
so for those that are listening, so the logic to this is quite simple. It's like that the mortgage concept. You pay 2 extra mortgage payments a year on your principal, and it goes towards your principal and no interest. You're going to pay off your mortgage much quicker. But in this regard, right, tell them a little bit about why it makes sense to do the weekly model versus.
Well, let me say it, and then Lance correct me. How's that?
Okay.
To see if the student learned from the master, right?
Okay.
So one of the reasons, first of all, here's how I remembered it, because you talked about your grandfather who owned property, and he would go and collect weekly. And you're like, well, Grandpa, they pay their mortgage, people pay their mortgages monthly. Why do you do it weekly? And he said, well, 1, it's easier to catch up on a weekly payment than a monthly payment. 2 is I get 4.2 more payments than I would.
4.3, but close.
4.3 more payments than I normally would, and I have cash flow every single week. So did I miss anything on that?
Nope, that is the main idea.
Okay, all right.
That 4.3 basically gives you an 8% increase for the revenue.
That's incredible, though. And listen, it's not that people don't get it, right? But they're paying weekly, so they think like it's a lower payment, but it's broken down, into a lower payment. But overall, they're going to end up paying those 4.3 payments extra. They don't even realize it. And we just tack that on towards whatever it is times 150, 200 students. It's a massive income change.
Well, and listen, the cash flow that is because the cash flow is, I think, some of the biggest problems in small businesses, not just martial arts, but just small businesses in general. So if you're able to have cash flow every single week, that makes a huge difference. And I wish I would have known that in the beginning,
Yeah, no, like that one change, I can't remember the number exactly, but I think it was, we did that when we were making a lot of money, but I think that one change got us about another $50,000 or $60,000 that year for just making that one switch.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I have clients that I can't get them to do a payment when they sign the contract. So in other words, if someone signs up on the 5th, for me, everyone pays on the 5th of the month that signs up on that date. And if they're, one on the 5th, one on the 6th, every morning I open up, my checking account is loaded with the new account of money, right? But I have people that will only bill on the 1st and only bill on the 15th. And they'll literally push people off for billing. They won't get their first payment. They'll wait for 15 days to get their first payment. I just don't understand the mindset.
I think a lot of it, it might go into some of what we're talking about today, but a lot of it is people aren't comfortable with selling things. So it's an easy way to be like, oh, you don't have to pay anything. Like you don't have to pay till the 15th. You don't have to pay till the 1st. So it's like, it makes it a very easy sale. And they just don't understand that they're losing that kind of upfront cash.
Yeah, it is amazing too. And I feel bad because I know that a lot, and we'll start right off in the topic that you want to chat about, but I find that I think martial artists are always caught in the humbleness or humility of being a real deal martial artist, and they don't equate. That's how that term, I hate the term McDojo. It bothers me. I get it. There are some technical McDojos that sell belts and they have no integrity and all that other stuff. But if that's what you want to call it, but it bothers me to hear like people, they fear being perceived as a business, like as if it were a bad thing, and, like everyone, like I had a mom the other day, and even myself, I got real defensive. She said, first and foremost, this is a business that you run. And then right away, my hair on the back of my neck went up. It was in a text message, but then she wrote, but I know you care first and foremost about the children and the students, and that's all that matters to you. And I was like, okay, she redeemed herself. I felt better about it. But right away, we get defensive, right? Because we don't want to be thought as like, oh, we're businessmen and that kind of thing. So it's
I would love to own McDonald's.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey,
so
Allie, you need to be politically correct because it's business people. It's not just businessmen.
That's true.
Come on, it's across your face.
I know.
No. So let's define the topic so everybody knows what we're talking about. Just because I kind of just rambled on, right into this. But we're talking about the power of a high ticket offer and really how it can help you outspend your competitors when you're running your ads. And that's what we're talking about today is the power of a high ticket offer. So Allie, I know that you have some questions already kind of, planned out, but then we'll kind of move into some things too.
I do, but I do have one thing I want to ask you. Like, I'm noticing that your launch on this podcast is under your name and it's not showing up on our group.
Well, what might be funny is I wonder if it, where it's going?
To your own thing? I know I see it going
live to my own
Facebook
page. Yeah. You want to start? You want to start over, and they have me put it on the right one.
Well, I think I would like to do that because none of our guests are seeing it. So, and also,
let me do that. I'll send you guys a new link.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.